Okay, I think we are live. Rory, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, good deal. Well, this is Josh Gwynn, and in this live training, we are here to share with you the top 3 critical things that real estate agents need to do to triple their leads using Facebook. And my co-host is also one of my clients and a good friend of mine, Rory Breland. He is the broker and owner of Blackstone Partners, and he's going to be sharing some of his expertise on this because we have been working together for the last year and a half on these techniques, and we're just starting to do this training on it. So, Rory, I was going to let you go ahead and just introduce yourself briefly while I'm working on pulling some slides up here.
Yeah, no problem. My name is Rory Breland, and I am, as Josh mentioned, the broker owner of Blackstone Partners. I've been in the industry now for a little over 16 years. I am a producer. I have an office here with multiple agents in it, and I came from a franchise system. We began this brokerage in 2007. Obviously went through a number of transitions in the years after that. Find ourselves, as all agents are doing, and looking for a steady flow of leads, looking to be as progressive as we can, and being on the front end of a buying cycle. Over the years I've been in the business, I've done a little over $70 million of personal residential transactions. So I get it. I know what it's like to try and generate more leads, train agents on doing the very same. And so many of the techniques that we've put together here and working with Josh have helped us in being successful with that. And so I'm excited to share that with you today. And I appreciate Josh inviting us in.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate you coming on here. This is awesome. So let me go ahead and jump in here. We're going to go ahead and jump in and talk specifically about the information that you came to learn. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Rory, can you see that?
I sure can.
Okay, so this presentation is going to be on 3 things to the top 3 critical steps for agents to triple their leads on Facebook. And again, my name is Josh Gwynn. My company is Redline Digital Consulting. And a little bit of background on me is my company consults with companies that range from startups to $300 million plus in sales per year. I'm also a licensed real estate agent in Louisiana, and I have been for the last 8 years, or since 2006. Is that 8 years? I think that's pretty close. My math is not great, but anyway, so I've worked in the business. I spent 5 years as a commercial agent. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And then I help companies grow their digital marketing using these strategies that Rory and I are going to share with you today. I'm also an online instructor on social media training. I've taught over 9,786 students online, and my co-host is a good friend of mine, Rory Breland. He talked a little bit about his background. So, Rory, did you cover all of this?
I did, yeah.
Okay, cool. So, Rory is somebody that I certainly perceive as an expert in this industry. He's been in it a long time, and the fact that he's jumped on board with doing some of these things that were just ideas in my mind for how this could work before starting to work with Rory, validates a lot of what we're doing. But we're also going to show you specific. We're going to show you the analytics of Rory's website for his company to show you how impactful this has been. So we're going to show you all of the traffic and leads that we're getting from Facebook doing these strategies. So we're going to show you evidence of this, not just theory. And just to recap kind of what you're going to learn in this live training, we're going to talk about the top 3 critical things any agent can do to triple their leads from Facebook. We're going to talk about what types of Facebook posts will guarantee more leads. So we're going to show you a specific type that we've been using very successfully. We're going to show you a simple tweak that you can make to what you're doing on Facebook if you're already using Facebook that will increase your leads today. And Rory is going to talk with you, and I'm going to kind of jump in too about how to write the perfect ad copy for your posts and what things need to be present for your ad copy to be very successful and generate as many leads as possible. So we are also, if you stay till the end of the presentation, we are going to give you a bonus for staying till the end. So at the end of the presentation, what we're going to offer you is a 30-day checklist. And this is something that Rory put together for how he trains his agents to convert leads into clients. So It's one thing to generate a lot of traffic and leads to your business. It's another thing to convert those leads into clients. And so both pieces have to be there. So I'm going to talk about how to generate a lot of traffic and leads to your business. And Rory's going to talk about how to convert leads into clients in this 30-day checklist. So you're going to get this at the end. We're going to give this to you and tell you how to get it at the end. It also includes some highly effective email templates that Rory uses in his business. So you can base these email templates to help convert leads into clients and then clients into customers and sales. So, and this is something that Rory is using in his business every day. So this is not theory. This is what we're doing on a daily basis. So another slide says, without further rambling, but I want to share with you a little bit about how I got to where I am, how I got to here doing this type of work. So I became a licensed real estate agent in 2006. And for a couple of years, I was on the commercial side of real estate. For a couple of years, it was really good. Obviously, before 2008, things were great. I was doing commercial deals. I was the top producer my rookie year, or rookie of the year. I think that was what it was at that time. And then 2008 hit, and more so on the commercial side than on the residential side, although I know the residential side was affected as well. But on the commercial side, deals just kind of ground to a halt. Banks stopped lending on deals, and it became very cumbersome and very frustrating to do real estate deals at that time. And it wasn't that I was making no money, because I was still making a living, but it had become extremely difficult and extremely frustrating to do that. Because you'd get to the end of working a 6 or 8 month deal, and the bank would say, we're just not going to do it. That we don't want to finance anymore. We just changed our mind, even if they had approved the buyer beforehand. And so a deal you spent 8 months working on would fall apart. And around the same time, I owned a franchise business with a partner. We owned a fitness franchise, and that is where I started learning social media marketing. That was when social media marketing was just becoming a thing. And so I had to learn it for that business. We sold that business around that time, and so at that point, I was fed up with real estate, and I decided I needed to do something else. So I left there and started a social media consulting company. And the third client that I called on was a $600 million a year automotive group in our town, and I knew that when they hired me, that they would spend a ton of money on my education and learning how to do this social media and digital marketing. And sure enough, I spent 2 years with them as director of marketing and social media. I was the only person handling that for 13 stores, and they spent about $150,000 on Facebook ads alone during that time period. So I really feel like, I tell people that I got a degree, a PhD or an Ivy League degree in digital marketing, because they spent 150 grand on my education that I didn't have to spend. It was like I was on scholarship. So, and the whole time I was there, I was thinking about how well this would work in the real estate business. Because I still, was an agent. I still was licensed at that time. I still occasionally did some deals. And I just knew that this would work really, really well. It's a similar type of purchase when you're buying a car or a house. They're very big, high dollar purchases. In fact, I think a house and a car are the top 2 expenses people have. So it was very similar, and it makes the salesperson a lot of commission when they sell one of those things, either one. So it really, this works really well. So when I left there, sorry, didn't mean to jump on that slide. So when I left there and started this digital consulting business, my plan was to work in the real estate industry to find, agents and brokers that were on board with these types of things, this type of advertising, and work with them. And Rory is who I started working with in Baton Rouge. And so anyway, so that's kind of how I got here. So hopefully that's not rambling too much, but I just wanted to share with you that. But I've told Rory this before. I really feel like if I had known the techniques that we're about to share with you when I left real estate, if I had known them, I would have never had to leave real estate, because this is a way to keep your pipeline full of leads and to keep generating leads even when you have business, you have existing business. So Anyway, without further delay, now that I've rambled for another 10 minutes, we're going to jump into this. So 3 critical things to triple your Facebook leads in 30 days. Roy, are you still with me?
I am here.
All right. Didn't want to hear any snoring on the other end of that thing. So,
No,
so anyway, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to jump into them. I'm going to talk to you about them a little bit, and then we're going to jump in and show you live examples because I feel like that's always better. And look, check this out. I did not correct this advertising misspelling here, so that's fantastic. All right, so top 3 critical things. Number 1 is use paid Facebook advertising. It used to be that you could use your personal Facebook page and that was sufficient to advertise your real estate business. It's not anymore, in my opinion, because Facebook has made it to where in order to reach outside of your friends or the people that like your Facebook page, you have to use paid advertising because Facebook wants to make as much money as they possibly can. And so they're forcing, their businesses and their customers to do this. So use paid Facebook advertising. We're going to show you the difference in just a second. Also, use a website or tool that captures lead information. We're going to show you how Rory has done this in his business and give you some examples of how you can do this. You don't necessarily have to have a website that does this, but you definitely need a way to be able to capture a customer's lead information so you can start the follow-up process with them. And then number 3 is to list post with great ad copy on a regular basis. And we're going to talk about the difference between a regular post and what most agents do on Facebook and a list post. And then Rory's going to talk to you about ad copy as well. So let me go ahead. Rory, do you have anything you want to add to this before we jump into some live examples?
No. Have some points as we get into obviously some of the website data and then also with ad copy. But no, we're good, man. You're doing great.
Okay, let me go ahead and we're going to jump. I'm going to switch my screen into this is Rory's Facebook page for his brokerage, for his business. So you can see that on your screen, right, Rory?
Yep, I can see it.
Okay, so this is so we're going to talk about the difference between a personal Facebook page and a business page. And a lot of you out there listening to this probably have a business Facebook page set up for your real estate practice. Some of you may not, and may still be using a personal Facebook page. The difference is that for your business, you're going to have a page that in a personal page right here where it says this, where it shows this like button. It would have add friend if it was a personal page. So a personal page, people have to add you as a friend and you have to accept their friend request. A business page, people just like your page and then they're getting updates from your business. So they're following your business. So that's one of the main differences. The other big difference is obviously you can use paid advertising. When you have a personal Facebook page, Facebook used to allow you to use paid advertising on your personal page. For a short period of time, they did this, and then they got rid of it. So now in order to use paid Facebook ads, you have to have a business page. And so I'm going to go ahead and jump into the difference between a paid ad and not a paid ad. When you have a personal page, let's say you have 1,000 friends and you post on your personal page about a listing that you have. That's only going to reach a small number of your friends that interact with you on a regular basis. So Facebook has reduced what they call the organic reach of posts down to about 5 to 10%. So when you post something, a small percentage of that 1,000 friends is going to see it. Similarly, when you have a business page with, this page has we have 832 likes. When we post, the number of people that sees that post is going to be limited to about 5% of that 832 people when we don't use paid ads. Now the difference is, so if you posted and you had 832 likes on your page, you may reach 100 people or 200 people with an organic post without paying for advertising. Now the difference is, here is a sample of a paid ad where we actually paid to show this ad to more people. You can see that this ad reached 7,167 people. So we were able to reach far outside of our immediate circle of influence and target people that are likely to be home buyers in the near future. So we targeted the people that we showed this ad to where they would likely be home buyers or know, somebody that would be a home buyer in the near future. So that's one of the main differences between paid Facebook ads and running Facebook ads that are not paid, or posting on your Facebook page without using paid ads, is the number of people that you can reach with a paid ad extends far beyond your immediate circle of influence. Another thing that we did with this ad is we did check out the top 12 luxury homes for sale with recent price reductions. So we talked about doing a list post. The difference between doing a list post and doing a regular post is what most agents do when they post their properties on Facebook is they will go into MLS, they'll copy the link for their property in MLS, and then they'll post it into a Facebook post. And then they may add a picture of that property or some pictures of that property, and they'll usually use a description that's similar to their MLS description. Now, the downside of doing that is that when you only post that property, if somebody sees that property that could potentially be a home buyer, even if somebody's in the market, if they don't like that exact property, then they're not going to pay any further attention to that property. If they don't like the color of the exterior of the house, or if they don't like the landscaping in the yard, they will pass that property up and they will not give it a second thought. So you're not really being a resource to them. You're just showing your property and pushing it into their newsfeed. Whereas with this particular type of post, here's what we're doing, and here's how this looks to a prospective buyer. We're saying price reductions in Baton Rouge. Check out the top 12 luxury prices for sale with recent price reductions. Call Rory at his cell phone number for price reductions in your area, or see all 12 on our website here. So if somebody's in the market for a property, particularly a luxury property, which is the price point that Rory is trying to target, then if they're interested in a luxury property and are in the market or going to be in the market at all in the future, they're going to click on this ad, or the likelihood that they click on this ad goes way up, because they want to see what the 12 luxury sale price with recent price reductions are. So that's the difference between a list post and doing a regular post of only your specific property, is you become much more of a resource to the people that see your post. And then once you create an ad that's targeted, then you reach multiple thousand people with that post. So Rory, did you have anything you want to add to this before I jump into your website and show everybody an example of how this works?
Yeah, one thing I'll say is just to mention a couple of the tools that are in place here for people who may not be familiar with using it. Obviously, we have a landing page or a site that this is being driven to, and we are using an IDX feed, which many agents already have provided by their broker, or they have an individual subscription to it, obviously available through their local board of realtors. And so that is a key tool to this methodology. So I would just mention that for now, and then we'll talk about some other items as we move along.
Yeah, and we're going to show you what that means too when we jump into this next slide. So let's say somebody is looking at your post, they see this post because you set up an ad that targets people that would be likely interested in moving or in the market in the next few months, and they're interested in this ad. They want to see what the top 12 luxury homes are for sale with recent price reductions. So they click on this link. It's going to bring them at the next page. It's going to bring them into Rory's website. So this is his website for his business. And you can see that there's 10 homes. So a couple were either taken off the market or sold, but it still gives them a list of homes to look through. So they will scroll through here, and they may click into a specific home to get more information on that specific home that piques their interest. But you have a lot greater chance of them potentially being interested in a list of 10 or 20 or 30 homes than one specific home. So that's what makes this so effective. So let's say maybe they weren't interested in this particular property, they back out of it, and they want to get more information on this property. And so they go into here. At some point, depending on what Rory sets up for his, in his website dashboard, it's going to prompt this customer to create an account. So it's going to ask them for their first and last name and their email address in order to keep browsing his website. Now, once they do this, they go into Rory's customer database where he can start the follow-up process with them. So now he can start emailing them and asking, if they're in the market for a property, let him know how they can help, or also that he can put them on a list to get property postings on a daily or weekly or monthly basis with updated properties based on what they searched. So that is one of the things that makes this highly effective, and we talked about this in step number 2, was having a website or a landing page where it prompts people to put their information in to where you can start the follow-up process. So then once they log in here, they can keep browsing. And so, but the difference is that now, instead of just seeing a post from Blackstone Partners, from Rory's brokerage on Facebook, now they become a lead, so he starts the follow-up process with them. So that makes this infinitely more effective than them just passing up a listing for your latest property listing on Facebook. So now he's becoming a resource to this customer rather than just being something that they see in their news feed that basically just amounts to something else that's interrupting them while they're browsing through Facebook. So it's the difference between becoming a resource and possibly being an annoyance to somebody on social media. So, Rory, do you have anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, absolutely. On that note of becoming a resource to people, you've got to understand the purpose of this post. I think a lot of people, through their, I'll call it recreational use of Facebook, feel that this is a place for people to engage with them. I want to put something out there that someone comments about. Understand that this particular post is designed for driving traffic to a website. So it's not intended for the engagement there on Facebook where people make comments and so forth. And, we're hired to market properties. And of course, we're not saying not to do that. When you get a listing, you post it on there and understand that the reason for that post is to make sure that it's known that that property is out there and for sale. But when you're doing posts for the purpose of lead generation, you've got to get away from that methodology. So a couple of things here. One, I'm just going to mention our market that we're in. Anytime we talk about leads and prices and ad content, it's unique across the country where someone may have just a different element in their service area. So, we're a population in our service area of about 500,000. Our median sales price runs right at the 250 mark in our area. And we've probably got 2,500 licensees, real estate agents in this service area that we compete with. And I'm going to say that it's a little over 5,000 transactions that happen in a given year. So, the market that you're in may be more suburban, metropolitan, rural. I don't know. I think that you need to take that into consideration as you come up with what is proper ad copy. I'll also say that Josh mentioned something very important, and that is duplicating what you put in MLS or other ads. And I think that is a tremendous mistake for us to try and reuse ad copy. These days, we type up some remarks that go onto a flyer or into MLS or some other online platform, and we tend to just copy and paste that over into a Facebook post. It's very text rich, it's very feature rich. We're trying to make sure we list every single thing about that home. And very often there's not even a method for contact or a place that it goes to. So I'm going to say the kind of the anatomy of a post should include, one is the heading, as you're seeing here, that Josh has up in front of you right now, something that is very compelling and what I consider to be scrubbed down. So the luxury home post is actually a recurring post for us. We try and do that weekly. We have tremendous success with it. You may be in an area where, being on the golf course or being on the waterfront, think of what's around you. Maybe there's a university. There could be a large employer. There could be a large shopping area, schools, what have you. Just something that might be a specific thing that causes a person to sort of raise their hand when they click on this to say, yes, I am specific to that. This is what brands you as a resource for a particular area. Incidentally, it's a fantastic method for breaking into new markets. So if there's a neighborhood, maybe a higher end neighborhood or neighborhood that another brokerage or an individual agent seems to have wrapped up, it would be a great idea to become a resource to those people that live in that area or that are looking to live in that area, as a person who posts information about it online, the price reductions there, maybe some new listings there, other data that you may have there. So that's what we consider scrub down content. Now, as Josh mentioned, we're going to include today, just for you staying to the end, our quick start checklist, which sounds small. It's actually 5 pages. In this, we're going to address and give you some of our best stuff. What we use for the purpose of writing ad copy. We're going to give you some great instructions and examples for how to do that. We're also going to give you follow-up so that you know how to respond to people who do click over into your website and become a lead for you. It's at the point that we get to communicate with them on a personal basis. That can be an email that we consider them to have converted into a client. That sales cycle has gotten very long, and so making this contact on the front end of the sales cycle is critical in your ability to maintain this person to the point of getting to the closing table with them and making an income and future transactions and referrals and so forth. So I also wanted to mention that we're going to have some methods for getting into the property with the leads that you have. So going from a lead to making contact with them to actually finding yourself inside a home with them. And all of these templates, as Josh mentioned, are going to be in this quick start guide for you to follow. Josh, I was going to take a minute and go over some analytics, if I could just show some of the results that we're having with this. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. But let me just reiterate one thing before we leave this page. This is something that you can do. You can start doing today to start generating more visibility on your posts. You don't have to just do, as Rory mentioned, the top 12 luxury home for sale with recent price reductions. Although, if you want to get into the luxury home market, which are can be $600,000 properties and up, then this is a great thing to do, because you now become, even if you don't have any listings in this market right now, you become associated with this particular type of property listing. So it's a very effective strategy to break into a market that you might not otherwise have access to. But it doesn't have to be top 12 luxury homes for sale with recent price reductions. We've done list posts for a specific high demand neighborhood. So if there's a high demand neighborhood in your town that people want to move in, that's a high price point per square foot, that's a great list post to do. Other ones are, golf course homes, as Rory mentioned, homes with swimming pools. Maybe it's a 4-bedroom plus home on the water. So waterfront properties tend to be higher demand properties as well as higher price properties than the average. And so there's all sorts of things that you can do with this. And we're going to mention, we have a premium training course that we're going to show you at the, towards the end of this webinar, where you can see all of the different types of list posts that we've done. But this is something that, start trying this out today. Do some list posts in your business, and this, you'll see that this is extremely effective at a way to generate leads and be a resource. So, Rory's had people call him. Another thing that I want to mention is, the anatomy of a good Facebook post should include not only a link to where people can get more information and become a lead, but also contact information to where they can contact you with a phone number. Rory has had people call from one of these posts, call his cell phone from a Facebook post, and told him that he called him from a Facebook post that he saw, and was shopping for a how high was that property, Rory? It was a luxury home, wasn't it? Was it 800,000?
In the 800s, which in our market we consider a luxury home for sure. Commission wise, that falls into the desirable category for us.
Yeah, so absolutely. And that's somebody that literally saw a post like this, did not know Rory or his brokerage prior to that, but saw him and his name associated with luxury price homes and called him directly, and was somebody that Rory started working with, that that property can generate $20,000 in commission when it if he sells this buyer. So anyway, try this out. This is stuff that we are literally doing every day, and it really works. And we're going to show you, Rory, how this works. I'm going to let you go ahead. I'm going to stop sharing this. So, all right, can you see me again?
Yeah, what I'm going to do is just jump over to our website here and just show you some of the results that we're having and some of the analytics.
Okay, cool.
All
Yeah,
right, can you see me?
Yep.
All right. So, another tool that's being used here, as Josh mentioned, is a lead capture website. There are multiple vendors for this. I guess to name a few: Boomtown, Realty Juggler, Conversion, Market Leader. This is a Market Leader site here, just to show you the number of leads that we're servicing from this website is just under 4,000. And I'm going to get into some analytics just to show, this is a great tool here. So we get to track what are our top referral links and the sites that are feeding our lead volume the most. So I'm gonna go back just 90 days and take a look at these top referral links for us. And I know Josh and I have looked at this, and we often look at this top 10 list. I'm going to point out to you the top 5 here are actually very impressive. So of the top 5, 4 of them are our Facebook ads. So you'll notice the lead volume that we've generated from that. The visitors to our page, leads, we're probably looking at 130 or so leads that have come in just from these resources. And so it goes without saying, when you have the opportunity as an agent, I'm sure you get called, as I do, for the purpose of buying leads or subscribing to Zillow, Trulia, or one of the multiple vendors that will contact you and say, hey, we do online lead generation for you, and you pay for them. As a note, our Facebook ad bill, our paid ad bill, runs approximately $300 a month. And yet it is the top producing 4 of the 5 lead generators that we have driving traffic to our website. I think that's a tremendous testament. As a broker, I'm always sensitive to where I'm spending money. I'm also sensitive to being able to track how well it is doing. And so when I'm able to see this, I'm encouraged. I'm excited about it. And I feel smart about the decisions that I'm making, where I'm spending my advertising dollars. Without a doubt, this is our #1 lead generator, and our cost per lead is lower here than with anything else that we do. Let's see. Josh, that's really what I wanted to share. Is there anything you want to mention that as we're looking at this right here?
Yeah, so I wanted to mention that if you look at the, Rory talked about the top referring source to his website. What that means is these are the websites where people are coming from to get to his website. So, 4 out of the top 5 are from Facebook, including, the top site. Number 2 is Google, or that's google.com, which is Google Organic. So, when you talk about doing SEO for your website, yes, that is certainly important, but it's very difficult to compete with the big aggregators of property listings out there, the Zillows and the Trulias and the Realtor.coms, and even the big brokerages in your town are going to take up those #1 spaces when somebody's searching for homes for sale in your town. So it's hard to compete on an SEO level. That doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. And a lot of what we are doing when we work with a client is consistent posting on social media, which boosts your organic search, where people can find you in Google. But if you look at the #1 source of traffic up there that generated 5,800 visitors and 85 leads over the last 3 months, it's Facebook. And that comes from consistently posting on Facebook, 5 to 6 times a week, but then also doing these, highly targeted list posts and using paid ads to promote them. So, that's, I guess, what I wanted to mention with it. And Rory, actually, I actually pulled up a couple of other analytics slides if you wanted me to.
Yeah. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen there.
Okay, cool. So, all right, let me jump back in and share mine. I got a couple of other things to show you here. Let's see if I can share this. All right, can y'all see that? Rory, can you see that?
Yeah.
Actually, let me jump back into, oh wait, it's gonna mess me up. All right, so let me do this instead. Stop sharing. Hang on one second. I'm going to share this one first. All right. So this is the leads that came into Rory's website from April or in May of 2014. So you see May 1st to June 1st of 2014. He had 49 new leads that were created during that month. This is when he was not using Facebook or social media advertising. Now I'm going to jump out of this and I'm going to show you, I'm going to jump back in and show you, or May of 2015, sorry. So here's May of 2015. It was 49 leads in May of 2014. From May 1st to June 1st of 2015, it was 18 leads. So it was literally more than, it was what, 64 additional leads. So he had increased by more than 15 leads a week from May of 2014 to May of 2015 when we were using Facebook ads. So that shows kind of the impact of what we've been doing.
Josh, let me mention something while you're on that, if I can. Looking at those lead numbers, because I'm on the dashboard side of this quite a bit, I can tell you that those were not just comparable leads. The volume is 120% higher, but the lead quality was actually higher. We were able to dictate the type of lead we were getting because of the types of lists and scrub down content that we were putting out there, as opposed to just throwing a property out there and bringing in what I feel to be a little lower end or lower quality lead. So the volume was up as well as the quality.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and let me jump back into our slides here, unless Rory, you had anything you wanted to add.
No, go ahead.
All right, let me see, make sure I can pull this up correctly. All right, give me 1 second. All right, I'm gonna pull our slides up here, so let me know when you can see this. All right, I think everybody can see this. Can you see it, Rory?
Yep, you're good.
Okay, so just kind of, to recap, the 3 critical things are using paid Facebook advertising, use a website or tool that captures lead information. So that can be a website, it can be a landing page, and then post list posts with great ad copy. Again, great ad copy is ad copy that has your contact information and a link to your website. So a phone number and a link to your website. I also want to mention that, another thing, if there were the top 4 critical things, would be consistency. You can't just post once a week on these social media channels. You have to be consistent. It's like any other form of advertising. The more people see you creating value out there, the more they get comfortable with you as a resource and recognize you as a resource. So you need to be consistent on your posting. You need to post, 5 to 6 times a week is what we shoot for with Rory, and it really, really works. And it doesn't take a tremendous amount of time. It just takes consistency and intention and doing the right types of posts. So anyway, the main, I think that was kind of the main takeaway from this training, was that this is something that these are what we're doing in our business to generate leads. The important thing that you kind of notice is it's not just haphazard sort of posting off the cuff. It is a system. So it's very important to have a marketing system that is effective, that's repeatable, that sets you apart from what other people are doing in your market, what other agents are doing in your market, and it makes you a resource. So if you're a resource to people, they're going to remember you even if they're not ready to buy a home at this particular point, they're going to remember you when they are ready to buy a home. So test us on this, and go out and give this a try. I mean, this is something that you can go out and create a list post on your social media and promote it with a paid ad today, and let us know how this works. This, again, it's not theory. It's a lot of people out there just teach theory, and it's not practical. This is what we're doing on a daily basis. And I believe that if you don't do this, you're actually leaving money on the table, because this is something that right now, especially, most people in your market probably aren't doing this. Most real estate agents in your market probably aren't doing this. So if you start doing this, you have a competitive advantage, if you're one of the first movers to doing this in your market. Again, not just theory. This is exactly what we're doing to drive these results on a daily basis. You saw that, you know, we more than doubled the monthly leads and traffic from last year. And I've told Roy this before. I feel like we are dominating our market on Facebook. I have the ability, with Facebook, to track what other agents in our market are doing, and I know that we are dominating even some of the companies that are out there doing this, but also a lot of the biggest agents as well. So, you know, what is this all about? What's the, you know, the message from this? It's you have to have a system to get more leads with less headache. This is about having more customers so your pipeline doesn't dry up when, you know, if something like 2008 were to happen. You don't want your pipeline to be able to dry up. You still need to be able to get leads. Maybe it's about, you know, maybe it's more, you're looking to get more sales to be a top producer. Again, it comes back to having a system that works exceptionally well, that's effective, that's repeatable, it sets you apart, and it makes you a resource. So, you know, I'm not sure why you showed up here today, what you wanted to learn on this training. Maybe at this point you're not doing Facebook ads. You know, maybe that you are doing Facebook marketing, but it hasn't worked for you. There's a lot of people, I think, in this boat that have tried to do Facebook marketing, but they were not targeting customers correctly. They were not targeting people that had the potential to be home buyers, and so it didn't work, and you felt like it was a pain in the ass. I totally get this. I spent a long time doing Facebook ads before I learned what was really effective and what really worked, and was able to test to see what worked. You know, maybe you're here because it is working for you. You are getting leads from using, you know, Facebook advertising, but you want to supercharge it and really dominate your market. There's basically two ways to get the results that you're looking for. The first one is the slow way, which is the way I learned this, which is the trial and error way, which is trying a bunch of things, which also typically involves spending a bunch of money. When you're trying things that aren't working to get to what's effective through trial and error, it costs money. Now, I was fortunate in that, you know, it was a company spending the money on my education. But, you know, if you want to do the slow way, the trial and error way, just be prepared that you're going to have to spend some money on it. And initially, while you're learning, some of that money is going to be invested into your knowledge of stuff that doesn't work. And then there's also the fast way, which is you're saving time, you're saving money, and you are getting results. So Rory and I have put together a program for real estate agents. It's called Facebook Ads for Real Estate Agents. And I had a picture of it here, of the course here, that I'm going to have to show you in a little bit because I'm realizing the picture's not here. But we put together a premium training called Facebook Ads for Real Estate Agents that walks you through the step-by-step process of how to do this. It is our exact blueprint for how to make you a Facebook ads expert. And it is literally the fastest way possible to get you more leads and sales using Facebook ads. It's the fastest way I know of to take you from where you are now to generating regular Facebook ads and literally being able to double or triple your leads from Facebook. It's an online training course that takes you from beginner to expert. So what is included in this course? It includes 30 training modules. Again, these are HD video training modules. So you will literally be able to look over my shoulder as I show you exactly what to do, exactly how to set up not only Facebook ads, but how to set up your Facebook business page if you don't have one of those. I walk you through how to set up ads, exactly what to do and where to click, how to use targeting. So I go through all of that. It includes full Q&A discussions on each HD video. So each one of these 30 training videos is going to have Q&A where you can ask a question, and I will be answering questions in each of those lectures. We also have, Rory is putting together a live training on converting leads into customers. So once you get leads into your pipeline, then you have to convert those leads into customers. So Rory is putting together a live training that will also, he's going to record it So we're going to be adding it to the 30 training modules that are included in the Facebook Ads for Real Estate Agents course. So you're going to get access to his live training course on converting leads to customers. This is actually exactly what he teaches his agents on how to do this. So he's actually using this in his brokerage every single day. Now we're also going to offer 2 live Q&A sessions with Rory and myself. So it's going to be a similar format to this, but we're going to set it up to where you can come in and ask questions. So we are going to do 2 live Q&A sessions with us. Now what we have in mind for this is that this is a 30-day masterclass. So there's 30 training modules in just the Facebook Ads for Real Estate Agents program. And we kind of have in mind that this is a 30-day masterclass where you can do a training module a day and then implement each thing that you learn. Now, I know some people will go through the entire training course all in 3 days, which is what I would do because I'm very impatient, but it's designed to last about 30 days. So that's kind of how we have it set up. What you get in what's included in the course. So the specific modules of the course. We're going to talk about how to set up your Facebook business page for real estate. So I'm going to show you specifically, walk you through step by step how to do that. I'm going to show you an easy way to get an amazing Facebook cover photo for your Facebook page. So you'll be able to get a cover photo that looks like what Blackstone Properties Facebook cover photo looks like, which includes, name and contact information as well, which is important. I'm going to give you my description template to ensure that your page ranks in Google. So you want your Facebook page to rank in Google when somebody searches for your business, because what that also does is it pushes your business and your website up in Google rank when people are searching for your business. So I'm going to give you a copy and paste description template that you can literally take and copy the description for your business. We are also going to give you, we're also going to talk about how to set up your Facebook posts so you start getting leads immediately. We covered that a little bit today, but we're going to go into more depth on how to set up Facebook posts so you immediately start getting leads. I'm going to show you how to set up your first Facebook paid ad in about 10 minutes. So your first Facebook paid ad is just going to initially start helping you get leads. And then I'm going to show you how to monitor the progress of that Facebook ad in order to maximize your leads. So you're going to learn what works as you go through it. And then when you set up the next Facebook ad, it's going to be, I'm going to show you how to target it much better to where it's targeted to people who are likely to be in the market for a home. I'm going to show you what your website needs to generate tons of customer leads. We talked about that today. And some options for getting that without having to get a new website. So if you have a website that doesn't already have that, the prompting people to sign up, I'm going to show you how you can get that without even needing a website, actually, with using a landing page. And I'm going to show you how to set up ongoing Facebook ads that create a lead pipeline. So remember, we talked about consistency being one of the keys. I'm going to show you how to set up ads that continue to work, that you can test new things and find out what works the best for your market, because what works the best in our market may not be the thing that works in your market. So I'm going to show you a way to continue to test and see what works. All right, we're also, this is, in my opinion, one of the most sections of this course. We're also going to show you the top 5 most effective Facebook ads at generating leads. So these are some of the ads that we've used over the last year that have been some of our top ads, our top most effective ads. I'm going to show you how to set those up as well. We're also going to get you a quick start guide to get you results from day one. So I'm going to go through, once we go through all of these 30 modules, I'm also going to give you a quick start guide to get you rolling really quickly. We're also going to include all future updates with this course. Now, this is something that we are still in the early stages of offering this course. And as we add more to the course, the plan for it is to be a monthly subscription. But for right now, you get all future updates included when you buy the course one time up front. So that is included today. We also have some bundle bonuses that we're going to offer when you get the course today. One of those is 2 live Q&A sessions with Rory and myself. So we talked about that. We're going to do 2 live Q&A sessions, and that is a $300 value. And that's something that Rory does not even do, to my knowledge. And I personally, when I consult with a business on social media marketing, I charge $150 an hour for those consultations. So when we say a $300 value, these are 2 live hour-long Q&A sessions that you're going to get. So when we say $300 value, definitely worth that. Rory's live training on how to convert leads into customers. If you can't participate or don't want to participate in the live training, we're going to record that live training, and then we're going to add it to the course. So you're going to get that regardless. And again, this is Rory's system for converting leads into customers that he trains his agents on a daily basis. So this is literally what he's using in his business. So just kind of to recap, what you get the Facebook ads training for agents 30-day course. This is a $297 value. You are going to get Rory's lead conversion training. This is a $297 value. We're going to do 2 live hour-long Q&A sessions with Rory and myself. This is a $300 value. And you're going to get the quick start guide from me on Facebook ads, as well as the templates that you need for the top converting ads, as well as the description template for your Facebook page to ensure that it ranks on page 1 of Google. This is a $197 value. So the total value of what you are getting today is $1,091. So you're getting $1,091 in value today. But we're bundling this for this webinar, and we're just starting to offer this course. So you're not going to pay this much. You get all of this today for $397. So below your screen or on the side of your screen, depending on where you're watching this training, there will be a button for you to click that will take you into a shopping cart. Now, we made this $397, and then we also decided to offer a slightly lower price if you don't want to attend the live trainings. So if you don't want to do a live training for Rory's live lead conversion training, you just want to get the recorded version of that, and you don't want the 2 live Q&A sessions, you don't have to get those. And so we made it, we wanted to give people options for price points on this. So if you want the live Q&A sessions today with the bundle, it's $397. If you don't want the live Q&A sessions and the live training, you still get Rory's training. You just don't get the live version of it. You get the recorded version. It's $297. So below this screen, there will be 2 buttons. One will be for $397 if you want the live version of those trainings, and the other one will be $297 if you want to get the recorded version of those. So when you click the button below, I'm going to go ahead and show you what the shopping cart is going to look like. Actually, let me go ahead and show you this first. I'm going to jump into show you what the course looks like, the Facebook ads course. Rory, tell me when you can see can you see this?
Yeah, I see the class curriculum.
Okay, cool. So this is, once you get the course, the Facebook ads for real estate agents course, this is what the curriculum will look like. So you have all of the lectures here. So you can scroll down and see all of the lectures that are included in this thing. And it's in chronological order, in the order that I felt like would be the most effective for you to learn this. And it kind of builds on itself. So we start with an introduction and how to get the most out of this course. Then we're going to show some proof of how Facebook ads can skyrocket your traffic and leads. We're going to go into setting up your Facebook business page. So I have about 9 lectures here on how to set up your Facebook business page and set up your first post to make it the most effective you can possibly make it. Then we're going to go into setting up your Facebook ads to generate ongoing leads and how to monitor the progress of those ads. And then we're even going to talk about using video for your listings on Facebook. And this is something that I don't think we mentioned when we were going through what's included in the course. But we actually have 3 lectures on how to set up HD video for your listings on Facebook and how to use HD video for your open houses and how to promote that. When you go into any particular lecture of the course, you click into it, and there will be full HD video that it may start playing automatically. I think it's trying to. So it will start playing, or you can click the play button and it'll start going through the video, and it's a full HD video. So literally, like I was telling you, it gives you the full HD. You watch over my shoulder as I show you exactly what to do. If you have a question on any one of the training, any one of the lectures, there is, oh, there we go. Look, now it's starting. So let me go ahead, it's loading. Let me go ahead and pause this. So there we go. Okay, so that's how it works with full HD video. And so you literally watch over my shoulder as I show you exactly what to do. If you have any questions or comments, you can add them down here, and you can see that I'm in the discussion, so I will be able to answer these questions as they come up. Once you complete a lecture, you go on to the next lecture, and it will start the next lecture. Notice that it also tracks your where you're in. All right, here's the next one starting. So notice it tracks your progress. So as you go through the course, you can come back to where you were, and it'll track what you've done already. So that's kind of the way the course is laid out, and the course dashboard is laid out. So it's very intuitive. It's very easy to use. So that's what it looked like. So I wanted to jump in and show you that. So wherever you're watching this video, there should be some buttons either below or on the side of your screen that that say get the Facebook ads for Realtors course plus Rory's live training. When you click on that button, it is going to take you into a shopping cart that looks like this. So this is if you were to select the option that was getting the Facebook ads for real estate agents course and Rory's lead conversion training, but you didn't want the live training, so it's $297. So this is what the shopping cart is going to look like when you go into it. So once you go into it, you just click add to cart, and you go through. It'll prompt you, I think, to set up a you go into you'll see it in your cart, then you go to checkout, and it will give you the ability to put in your name, email address, and I'll go ahead and do that. And then you go to next, and it'll take you into the cart. So you can check out with either PayPal or with any of these credit cards, and you select your option, then you submit your order, and you are good to go. And you get instant access to the training to start right now. And then Rory's live lead conversion training, if you select that option, we will let you know when that's going to be running, and then we will add it to the course if you chose to get his the recorded version of that. So Rory, did I forget to cover anything, or is that kind of, did I hit all the points?
You've covered it well. Yeah, I guess a couple of things that I would say as I sit here and I listen to that incredible list of things that are included in this course and the cost of it, and I consider what it cost us to reach that point of knowledge. It is such a multiple of that. So we're glad to share that, and that people who subscribe to this will certainly be a beneficiary of that trial and error that we went through for a very long time, and spent a lot of money to do. Certainly spent significantly more than what all of this, the value of it is, for sure, just to find our way to this point. I just want to emphasize the things that are being shared here are the best practices we've come up with over a lot of time. Like I said, a lot of trial and error and a lot of money spent to find our way through this. So it goes without saying, this is a tremendous value. I would expect that you will walk away today with actionable items that you can apply to your business already. It's where you know that the value of this and the impact of this on your production is going to be there. A couple of things. A lot of times agents, and I have been guilty of this for being in the business for a long time, we see something and we feel that it doesn't really apply to us. One of the things that I'm really drawn to in this topic is that it's applicable in my office for every level of agent that we have. So, as a brand new agent, quite often we're tasked with helping them generate new leads, new business, getting their name out there, finding contacts, and I think this is an incredible tool for doing just that. The other thing is that, a lot of agents are already doing things on Facebook, so they're spending their own time posting properties and so forth. And chances are this would certainly just increase their efficiency. So if I'm a producer and I make my living from closing sales, it would stand that if I'm doing my own marketing, then I need to be as effective and as efficient as possible there. So you might take the dollars that you're spending and reduce them by simply applying some of this. You may take the time that you're spending on it and reduce that and be more effective at it. Lastly is, that more seasoned agent that maybe has delegated this to someone on their staff, an administrator or someone in the office. I will say be very careful of that. A lot of times we feel that if someone spends a lot of time on Facebook, or maybe they're of the younger generation, that they just are better at it. This is not the same thing. They should be trained on this. And if you pay someone to serve in this capacity, then they need to be using the best practices that we in the market have found. And so I think that I would certainly find it of value to have an associate or an assistant take the course and equip them to do a tremendous job for you. So, I mean, it applies to every level along the way. And I think anyone can start it. You could be brand new, just right out of school and start this today, and it's going to work. You could have been in the business for 30 years with, tremendous referrals and so forth. And this is a fresh new pipeline of business that starts to feed your production. So that's really what I wanted to mention, Josh. We're so pleased with what this is doing for us. We're pleased with how you've led us through it. We're excited about the success that we're having in it. And I'm certain that those that subscribe to this are going to realize a tremendous impact on their business. We're just pleased that we could be a part of it and part of the course that's being offered here.
Oh yeah, man, definitely. Thank you for being on this training today. I know you're a busy person, and this was really awesome. And I wanted to kind of reiterate something that I don't know. I briefly mentioned it, but this is kind of the beginning for this this course. The intention is that we're going to continue adding to this course on a monthly basis and continue to add value to it. So this is kind of an entry. Kind of not a pre-sale because the course is live, but you're getting in on the ground floor of something that we intend to build a community around. And so as we do new things and try new things that work with Rory's business, we're going to continue to add those in, and on a monthly basis update you with whatever is working currently. So this course is organic. It's going to keep growing. And, because of the commenting system that we have, we want to build a community around this where you continue to get results and we can help you with it. So, again, the only difference that I wanted to reiterate is between the $297 price point and the $397 price point. We just wanted to give people some options for what they could do in terms of price. But the difference, you're going to get all of the same things with the $397 course that you do with the $297 course. You're just not going to get the live version of Rory's lead conversion training or the 2 live Q&A sessions with it. So you get the same material, but if you want to come on live with us and ask us questions about specific to what we're doing and what's working, then that's get the version with the live training. So but that is pretty much what I wanted to to share with you. So I'm gonna stop sharing here. We'll jump back in and close this out. If you have any questions about this, or we can help you out in any way, feel free. Depending on where you're watching this training, again, there may be a box to ask questions or chat, or if there's not, then feel free to email me. You can email me at joshgwinn@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to answer your questions as best I can. So Rory, thanks again for being on this training, man. I really enjoyed it, and I appreciate your time, and hopefully everybody got a lot of value out of it.
Thanks for having us. We're glad to be a part of it.
Oh yeah, one more thing. The 30-day checklist. If you've watched till the end of the webinar, we promised you a 30-day checklist. So we're going to set up anybody that registered for this training. You're going to get an email with a 30-day checklist. So we'll email you a PDF version of it, so you'll get it. If for some reason you don't get it or haven't seen it yet, it usually will come about a day after you do the full training, if you stay till the end. If you didn't get it, email me, joshgwinn@gmail.com. I'd be happy to send it to you. So make sure you get that, because we certainly want you to have that. So again, thanks a lot. We hope you get the course, and we'd like to see you on the inside of it and teach you in depth how this stuff works. And we definitely appreciate it. So Rory, thanks again. Thanks everybody for joining.
Thanks, Josh.
All right, bud.